Hey guys, welcome to the Massive Iron Channel. I'm Steve Shaw. In this video, I'm going to talk about the fear of getting fat on a bulk. Before I get into this topic, if you guys have any questions or comments, drop them down below. The best topic ideas I turn into videos just like this. If you need coaching, please check out the link down below. And don't forget, every Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern, I do Massive Iron Live. Please check that out. I answer your questions. All right, the fear of getting fat on a bulk. Now, yesterday, somebody asked me what were some of the things I learned during coaching that I didn't expect. And one of the biggest things I didn't expect was the over fear of getting fat. Now, let me explain. There's a couple different types of people that fear getting fat on a bulk. Number one, a lot of the skinny guys that start out on the real skinny range, the super skinny range, like what we would consider the underweight range, not all of them, but a lot of them tend to fear getting fat on a bulk. They're kind of lean already. They kind of are younger individuals. They're lean and young. They're kind of where they like to be weight-wise. So the thought of moving up from 140, 145 to 170, 170 mentally feels really heavy for them. It feels in their head like it's a number that is just fat. And I can completely understand that. If you've been 132, 135, 138, 142, 145 your whole life, and you try to picture yourself as 175, even though in your brain you can think, yeah, I might have 20 more pounds of muscle, all you can think of is, I'm going to be fat. On the other end of the spectrum, you have guys that were really overweight, that worked really hard to get their weight down. A lot of times these are guys that were 100 pounds overweight. They worked really hard to get their weight down to 170, 180, 190, to get their weight under 200. There's a natural tendency once you get your weight down like this to be a little bit hesitant, to be like, I'm a little bit nervous about gaining a little bit of weight again because it just took me 5, 10, 15, 20 years to get all this in place to actually make this click. And I understand it. It took me 17 years to get my weight down. After I got out of the military in 1994, my weight started to slowly creep up. I was in more of an office job. My weight started to slowly creep up. And even though I was lifting during that time and I looked pretty big and I kind of liked how I looked to a certain point, it got to a point where it got out of hand. And then when I got in my powerlifting years and depression years, I got up over 300 and then eventually 346. It took me a lot of years to get my weight down to where I wanted it. So I completely understand. Mentally, I don't want to get bigger again. I don't want to add weight again. So there's a natural tendency once the bigger guys that lose weight to fear that if they get back onto overeating slightly, that not that they're just going to get fat, but I don't know, that maybe they're going to trigger some of those old things that cause them to gain weight to begin with, or maybe they just don't want to move up in a pant size again or risk that, or even though it's unlikely to happen, mentally these are things we think about. I don't want to go that direction again. I just spent 10 years moving the opposite direction. So this is one of the biggest things I learned in coaching, that there is a fear of getting fat. And look, the only thing I can really say is that for a long, long time, fat bulking was such a thing. We had so many guys fat bulking, and I'm trying to help guys move past the fat bulk era. When it came to bulking, a lot of guys equated it with gaining a lot of weight in a short period of time. Like it was like hyper bulking. It was really fat bulking or fulking. Guys would gain a lot of weight in a short period of time, like 25, 35, even 40 pounds. And what time frame? I don't know. It could be months, 3, 4, 5 months. They do this not gain the mass they thought they were going to gain, and then like, I'm never bulking again. Bulking is such a horrible idea. This is not proper bulking, and I want to help people move past this kind of fat bulking era. In the massive iron world, we do what's called a 10-pound a bulk. We do something within a 10-pound window with something that doesn't leave you too far from home. So basically, how it works for my clients is like this. We have a 10-pound window that we're going to work with. Wherever you're at right now, when we reach that 10-pound window, we're going to assess, do you want to gain another 5 pounds or do you want to do a mini cut? We don't want to get so far away from our base weight that we just can't knock out a quick mini cut in a few weeks and get back to our base weight. This 10 pounds is gained in a very meticulous and slow manner. We're doing so over about 4 months, 4 to 5 months max. 3 months at the quickest, right? That's the quickest we can gain. And I generally don't encourage that. If somebody's gaining at that rate, we slow things down a little bit and try to get that more down to 2.5 pounds per month or about a 4-month bulking period. This is more sustainable. It's more reasonable. Now, people can obviously bulk longer than that. If you wanted to bulk 8 months or 10 months or 20 months, you could. I'm not saying you can't. The only time I recommend bulking for an extended period of time is if you feel super confident that you can go in and rip off a cut and get back down 20 to 25 pounds. That's a long-term bulk, but we're talking over 10 months here. But I only recommend doing that if you're 100% confident you can rip off an effective cut. So for those of you guys that are skinny guys that are afraid of fat bulking, those of you guys that have lost a lot of weight that are afraid of, getting back in the fat bulking world or gaining any weight, the only thing I can say is try the massive iron weight, try the sustained 10-pound bulk weight. Look, you're a skinny guy, you're a guy that lost a lot of weight, you can start conservative. You can start with about 2 pounds per month. That way you're 3-4 months into it, you're only 6 to 8 pounds away from where you started. And then if you don't like what the trend, you can rip off a little bit of a cut and start the process again. But when you stay in a bulk over a majority of the coming year, it's going to facilitate quality muscle gains. All this stuff out there about staying your same weight, right, and building muscle, you're kind of doing the opposite of what most fitness people do or most trainers do, and they tell you not to focus on the scale. But all this maintaining weight stuff, staying at the same weight and building muscle is doing the opposite. You're focusing on an arbitrary number on the scale, which isn't healthy, it's not productive, and it's arbitrary. By using the massive iron system where we're focused on a 10-pound bulk or about 2 to 2.5 pounds a month, you can actually stay in a bulk about 10 months out of the year, do a couple mini cuts, and you can continue to recomp, improve your body composition. And I'm not using the recomp meaning we're staying at the same weight. You're improving your mass, you're reducing your fat over time, but you're doing so with short, controlled bulks and then really quick, quality, precision mini cuts. If you guys have any questions about this, email me at benthebarman@gmail.com or hit my Instagram at benthebarman. So guys, hope this video has been of some help. If you have any questions or comments, drop them down below. If you made it this far in this video and have yet to subscribe to my channel, please do. I'd appreciate the support. So guys, as always, thanks for watching. Have a great day.